Okay, I'm ready. Okay, ready now? Good, rolling? Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Randomland conversation. Pretty excited about this one because today in here, I've got David Erickson, Fresh Baked Disney. Or is it just Fresh Baked now? It's no longer Fresh Baked Disney.
Yeah, we had to sort of extend the Disney part, but it's just Fresh Baked.
Because it's weird to have Disney in the name of your thing.
Yeah,
It's not owned by Disney.
Yeah.
That's how all fan things start though. You're like,
Oh, sure.
We're the awesomest Star Wars show. And then after a while, you're like, we got to take Star Wars out of this name, probably. David Erickson, Fresh Baked Disney.
That's right.
And for those who don't know me, my name is Justin Scard from Randomland, which are probably, I've kind of figured out, or I've been told, that our two shows on YouTube are probably the first two like sort of dedicated at Disneyland shows that were ever on YouTube.
I would agree with that.
You think that's
you're
right?
certainly one of the first that I had ever seen.
Me?
Well, you and Adam, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch your collab videos from 100 years ago.
Yeah, because there were people filming at the park sometimes as part of their vlogging or something like that. And my friend Adam, and now your friend Adam,
Yeah.
weird. He went and he was filming a little bit in Disney World, but he'd travel around and that kind of stuff. And he got me in front of the camera. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll make he's like, you should film at Disneyland. You're so passionate about it. I started filming the show. And then the whole time, this is 2013. So like the wild old West days of YouTube. And the whole time towards the middle of that first year, people were like, have you met the Fresh Baked guy? Have you met the Fresh Baked guy?
I still get called that. Are you the Fresh Baked guy?
Really? And I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that? Oh, it's a show. It's a show at Disneyland. I'm like, there's a show at Disneyland? I'm like, I didn't know there was a show at Disneyland, or I never would have started filming. Because I'm guessing,
right?
I'm guessing like me. Well, we'll get into it, but I'm guessing for you, it's probably the same thing as me. Is like, there's no like show here.
That's almost exactly it.
I want to watch like something about my favorite place, and I'd go online.
Yeah.
And like, what was it like for you? Like, so how did you get started?
Well, that's a lot of it right there. I bought the family annual passes for Christmas.
Yep.
And
Same.
I'm like, I haven't been to Disneyland in 5 years.
Was it that Christmas, 2012,
No, I actually
13?
no, it was the Christmas before.
Okay, 2011.
So, but yeah, I'm like, so I went on the internet and I'm like, let's see what. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I'm
Yeah.
like, and then later on, I'm like, I wanted to do something on YouTube, but I didn't know what.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'm like, I'm just gonna take the camera with me and I'll just film stuff. And I said
Like a
nothing.
camcorder?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I used a camcorder for 7 years.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
It's better. It focuses on everything. The battery lasts forever.
We
there's
call
no
it
time
Grandpa.
limit.
It's a camera that we call it Grandpa.
Yeah.
I've been using it forever. I love.
Oh, you named the camera Grandpa?
Yeah, all my cameras are named.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We should say at the outset that like, because we started filming stuff around the same time, you're probably the same as me. I was like, when I was in a band, I would never listen to the other bands I would play with because I thought we're too close. If I listen to them and I get their songs in my head, it might be weird if I accidentally like rip off a riff that they use. So I don't watch a lot of other videos from Disneyland from people that I know. And I know I've seen a few things that you've done over the years. I know you've seen a few things I've done over the years because of Liz, and I've seen a few things because of Allie and because of whatever. So our wives and people and friends and stuff like that. And we run into each other all the time. And now you've been over and I've been over and now we're really friendly. But I don't know a lot about Fresh Baked, so I'm excited to like learn about Fresh Baked.
Yeah.
And this is just a conversation, not an interview, so you can ask me and I can ask you. But yeah, I want to know how. So you were just like, I'm gonna just film POV, no talking.
Yeah, it was pretty much POV, and every now and then I would say like what time it is, or oh my gosh, that's cool. But that's about it. That was the extent of it.
When did you start uploading these?
I mean, it didn't take long. I just once I figured out that you needed to bring more than one battery, that's when I started.
The life lesson. But is that like 2012 or 2013?
This is 2012. Yeah, my very first video was I want to say, I think it was February 2012. It was the Gay Days.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is why I say you were first. And remember, we had a conversation
but
once.
Certainly, you were there before me.
Well, I was there in Disneyland, but I wasn't
making videos. I could have sworn.
There's
no way I was there before you.
I was making videos, but no, I wasn't on camera. And like, I had a YouTube account in 2005 or whatever. Like the earliest you could hit, when you could upload like maybe like 3 minutes, and it took forever. And
yeah.
But it was for my band, and I was actually filming videos like what I film now, kind of, but for my band. And then when we switched drummers from a chick drummer to my new drummer, Ben, it was like, we've got to delete all those videos because otherwise everyone in the world is just going to ask, where's the girl drummer? So we deleted all those videos, so they don't exist anymore.
I've done that.
But the Disneyland videos, I started in 2013. So this year, look at
Get out of
the
here.
10th anniversary of Randomland.
I would have bet.
So
I would
you
have bet
beat me.
$100 that you started before I did.
I know. We had this conversation like, no, you were the first. And I was like, I think you were the first, but I didn't
Was
know.
I really the first?
I think so. But you weren't talking. So that's why I want to know, like, when do you consider that Fresh Baked really started?
I mean, I consider. Well, actually,
That it became a show, more than just footage.
you know, now that you mention it, that was the first Fresh Baked video. But I want to say, I was doing a Disneyland report. I called it the Disneyland report first.
Really?
And I did that for like a few months, and then I said, and then I killed that channel and started a whole new one.
Did you talk on that channel?
I did a little bit. You could barely hear me. I did not project at all. I'm actually not a talker. I'm not a social person. I'm very in the corner by myself kind of guy.
This is actually true.
Right?
You've been like at my birthday party and see you like kind of in the corner, and then Liz comes around, your wife, and she's like, "Come on, babe, you gotta talk." Oh, I'm talking.
Well, I mean, you watch enough playback. You watch, because the reason why I think I've been able to stay at it for so long is that every video I try to get better. Like every single one, I'm like, I got to learn something. Right. I got to figure something out. And I would watch these videos and I'm like, David, you are boring. I can't hear you. What are you saying? Keep the camera still. Why? Edit the video, David. Like, you know.
Well, that's the thing. I remember, like, when I first kind of became aware, like, oh, there's this thing and it's Fresh Baked. I was like, I think whatever I had looked up was like, okay, but it's all kind of POV stuff. There's not a lot of talking.
Well, I never was.
It's just sort of views of the park. I don't know what the guy looks like. That's why I didn't run into you for so long. I probably saw you a million times and would have had no idea who you were. So I guess you could argue that I was first if you want to say like talking and making the show and editing it. But I feel like it's even because you were there a year before me going.
Yeah,
but that's all that was out there was like a lot of POV stuff. There was all those videos that would have the text, the dreaded text videos, you know what I'm talking about? Like, did you know a secret of Disneyland? There is a secret club in Disneyland.
I watched some of those old videos and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how did we get away with that stuff?
Did you know the Matterhorn has a basketball stadium inside? Like all those like, and I always thought like, this is so boring. These are wrong. Yeah. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like Survivor Man in Disneyland? And so that's like what I set out to do was like, like film myself. Yeah. But I was like still like sarcastic and snotty. I thought, and here's the funny part, like I watched the early videos of myself in there and I'm being like all sarcastic, mostly because I was nervous and I would hold the camera really low.
What you were using a
DSLR.
A DSLR?
But it didn't even have autofocus. I'd be like, okay.
Oh my God.
Here we are in the park and I talk like this. So there's people who are like, why did you change your voice? Like, I didn't change my voice. I just used to talk like this because I was nervous. Like, you know?
Oh, really?
And I would be like really snotty. Must be in the center of the park. And I didn't even know I was being snotty because I came from this like punk world where everything was negative. And so I thought I was being really positive, but I've been doing like looking back over 10 years of clips. I'm like, man, I'm really like.
Do you still go back and watch those?
Naughty? No, I never watch myself.
No,
so
neither.
it's been really weird.
I can't.
But so what did you have like the idea like I'm gonna go down and start a YouTube thing, or were you just like I'm here anyways?
Well, it's kind of both. Yeah. But I mean, I was working a 9 to 5, and I was like, I need to make $400 more a month. So I'm gonna go start a YouTube channel and try to see if I can make $400 a month.
You thought you could make money with YouTube?
And I remember saying exactly the words to myself and to anybody who had asked. I'm like, I don't want to win. I just want to play. You know, I just want to be a part of whatever it is that these YouTube people are doing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I remember Adam told me when I first started, he's like, dude, these videos are pretty good. I think one day they'll pay for your annual pass.
Right?
And I was
That's
like,
exactly right.
I thought he was nuts. I was like, you can't make money on YouTube. And I don't think you could be monetized back then. Like they had to ask you.
Yeah, you had to. Well, by the time I got started, everybody was monetized. But just a few years before that, you had to apply.
Okay, because I remember applying. So I don't know if I did that before or after, like actually Randomland
2012,
started.
everybody got monetized.
But I was like getting like $12.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way this will pay for my annual pass.
Dude, I remember
crazy.
the first month I made $100. I was like high-fiving myself all over the apartment.
No kidding.
Yeah.
See, I had the total opposite. Like everyone was. Did you have this? Because this is 10 years ago, which isn't that long, but in YouTube Disneyland terms, this is like ancient history. Everybody thought I was an idiot. everyone's like, what are you doing going down there?
Oh, no, I never got that.
You're like a grown man going to Disneyland, like filming yourself?
I was 40 when I started.
Wow.
No, 43.
Ancient.
I know, right? So, no, I was already, I was beyond
So you
caring.
didn't get that?
No. I mean, I might have heard it, but I don't care.
See, I just turned 40, and I feel everyone's like, it's not that old, don't worry. And I'm like, I'm not worried about being old. I kind of like being old. Because I feel like 40 is like, you finally reach this weird plateau where you're like, I don't care anymore.
Exactly. The older you get, the less you give a
Like,
rip.
I just don't care. I didn't really know you. I for some reason, we never, like, crossed paths.
Well, because I don't reach
When you
out.
were there, it was just a pack of people, too.
Yeah.
But what's weird is they never seemed like they were talking to you. It always seemed like they were all talking to each other, and I just kind of spy you.
Yeah.
In the middle of this crowd.
I'd be like filming,
with
doing my
camera.
thing, and they'd all be in the wake of whatever it is
And
that
it was just
happening.
it was like a hangout. And then all of a sudden, meanwhile I'm like, okay, whatever's going on over there, no problem, whatever. This town's big enough for the both of us.
Sure.
And I'm filming my videos. I'm doing like lots of history and stuff, and you were doing all more POV, and things have evolved and completely changed since then. But that was kind of like, oh, he's got a lane and I've got a lane back then. And so I was like, not paying much attention, but all of a sudden, everywhere I'd go, I noticed like year 2 or 3, by the early 2015, everywhere I'd go with that camera, people in the park would go, fresh baked at me. They start yelling.
To you?
Fresh baked. They just see a camera in the park and they just yell, fresh baked.
That's so wild.
And then the few times I'd ever go on a Saturday, which was like your guys'
That's my day, yeah.
That was like your turf was Saturdays. Yeah. I would see the pack and I'd just hear people screaming, fresh baked, fresh baked. How did that start?
Okay, so...
And then people started calling themselves muffins. They'd come up to
we
me
called them that.
They'd come up to me and be like, dude, I'm a muffin. Before I knew it was connected to you, people would come up to me and go, oh, what's up, man? Randomland, I've seen your show. They're like, dude, I'm a total muffin too. And I'd be like, oh, cool. I don't know what that is. And then I figured out later, you're fresh baked muffins. You're like a fan of fresh baked.
Yeah,
like,
they're fans. We decided to give them a nickname. Yeah.
Like on the videos and stuff, you're like, oh, check it out. We got our muffins.
I don't remember, because I wanted some art that sort of it said what we are, fresh baked, because it's, we're baked.
Oh yeah, and by the way, where'd that name come from? We might as well sidetrack.
So,
is it from the Market House?
No, people think that. Yeah, that's just a happy coincidence. There's a Coco's on the corner of Catella and Disneyland Drive.
Yeah.
Which actually just recently closed.
Right, it's gone now.
Before that,
Coco's.
I know, right? Before that, it was a mom and pop bakery.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife lived near there.
Really?
So this is before I was going to Disneyland.
Whoa.
And I would go to her house and I would drive by that bakery often. What
was it called?
I don't even remember. It was,
It's gonna bug me.
Yeah,
okay.
well, but they had a big marquee when they put the letters up there, and they like special a day kind of thing.
Catella and West?
Well, whatever the street is you take to get to the parking structure from Catella. From the Catella side. I want to say Disneyland or Disney Way, or I don't know.
I think it's Disneyland Drive now, but it used to be West.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But they had it on the marquee. They said, "Bake 'em fresh daily." So they had. I thought that was clever. Bake 'em fresh daily.
Bake 'em fresh daily.
And I thought that was an interesting way to put it.
And I didn't ever know, but so you had planned, like, I'm going to make the show at Disneyland. So did you think of it as like Disneyland news reporting on the park?
No, I wanted some sort of stupid non sequitur name for the channel.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to put, I didn't want it to be too on the nose.
And then at what point did it like sort of become like, oh, we're going to be like the Disneyland news channel, and we're going to, and because the name is apt.
Yeah.
By the way, and like jumping way ahead in the story, like I really I love when you kind of switch things up and started doing stuff behind your desk setup. I remember going to your house, like and seeing that setup and be like, dude, this is like what you should have been doing the whole time, because you've always been on top of. Like if I want to know like something like, hey, when's that ride opening? I'm gonna ask you, because you know all the time. I never know what's going on. I got ADD. I wander through this life. People are always like, what's next? Where are you going? Ali asked me today, what are you doing on Wednesday? I go, I have no idea.
You tell me.
I have no idea. If I get through today, I'll worry about tomorrow, and then I'll worry about Wednesday tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it seems like you planned it, like Fresh Baked Disney. We're popping it out every day.
Well, that was the I guess the I don't know if the idea or whatever, but yeah, I wanted to put out a video every day if I could.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just love that you planned it out beforehand. I never knew that.
I had a whole notebook of all my ideas. Before I even launched the channel, I had written everything down. I had a bunch of names. I would give all the different various names that I might call the channel to other people and have them help me pick out a name.
I can't even tell you how little I prepared. I thought well, there's nothing that I want to see about this park that I could find then. And I remember thinking, like, I hate a lot of videos about places would just be like sort of the tourist videos. And then like say like Mark Twain's house, they would just show, which was a big part of my inspiration, they just show the front of the house.
Yeah.
They'd never show you like what the town looked like, what it looked like around there. There's no context. So I just wanted someone to film it like what it would be like to go there as a guest. And you'd actually like get to see stuff and what it smelled like, and tell me like what was going on, what did it sound like, and all that. I
still keep that in the back of my mind. I like reference. I like to when I'm shooting a thing. I also like to shoot the like
show what's around.
I want to show context and sort of give you an aesthetic of what's happening around it.
The other thing I decided right from the beginning is like I'm never gonna, and this took a while for me to filter my own negativity out of myself, but I always thought I never want to talk about what I don't like here. I only want to talk about what I like. Because everything online, I don't want to name the forums, there's all those forums. And it would always be the people who are like, they changed the color of the fire hydrant, Walt's rolling over in his grave, Disneyland is ruined forever. And like I didn't like DCA when they built that. I wanted my parking lot back, but I didn't want to put that in videos. Like I wanted to keep. I like it now. I like it. It's fine.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm getting used to it.
It's grown on me. But I was for years. I was like, I'm too cool for DCA or whatever. Yeah. But anyone who says they like DCA doesn't remember what those rides looked like Superstar
DCA
Limo.
1.0 was undesirable.
Like riding Superstar Limo and just what it looked like was like, this is not Peter Pan. But so I wanted it to be positive. I was like, I just want it to be like, why can't we appreciate it? Why can't we love like the park? Why can't it be people who love this place? So I've never found a balance between putting on a show for the pure love of putting on the show and wanting to entertain people and make people happy, and well, this has to be a business. It's the punk rock thing, like, oh, business guy. Or like I have this innate like cringe at that, probably unnecessarily. I mean, it's a fact of life. You gotta live.
It's okay if
you've never had that, and I love that about you. Is that you're like, this is a business. I'm doing a business. I'm providing a service, and if people like it, I
am. But I'm also, my job one is to make a good product.
Sure, obviously.
Yeah. So I never feel like I'm approaching it as a money making.
Right, like a scheme, yeah.
Because I know in my heart, and I know what I'm putting out there is like, this is me. I grind 16 hours a day on this, every single day, Monday through Sunday. Like, it is. I put every drop of energy and every
passion, creativity.
So it may not be the best product. My videos aren't as good as Ordinary Adventures or Magic Journeys. They don't look as nice. They're not as well polished. But I've tried the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Like
Dude, but that's the funny part. You're like, you don't know about the punk rock world, but I love that you did something super punk rock, which is like the whole DIY thing, which is like do it yourself, make your own TV show. You picked up a camera, you're like, I don't have no idea what I'm doing, I'm going to make a show. Because had you ever done video stuff before that?
I didn't know anything.
Really?
I didn't know. Like I said, I came with one battery. I said, I got a camera for $100 on Amazon or whatever, and it came with the one battery, and I'm like, I'm filming Buzz Lightyear, and all of a sudden the thing stops. I'm like, what the hell?
I might need two of these. You can buy extra.
I filmed for 45 minutes.
I love that though. Yeah. How do you think things have changed from being when it was literally just you and me that were there every day, and occasionally Adam drifting in and out, to now with this whole world full of influencers, and now people know it feels be more a career. Urgent. People go into it to make a career out of it more. And
I wish they wouldn't actually, but I mean, I don't know how many people really are, to be honest. But
I think a lot of people try.
They can try, but it takes a while to like get to a point where you can sustain it.
Yeah.
But I never worry too much about that. I mean, because it takes a lot to keep it going for 10 years. I mean, so good luck, I guess. You know what I mean? That's all.
Does it stress you out to see so many new cameras and stuff?
The only thing that stresses me out is the sense of urgency that there is now, and also the sense of...
It's harder to take a long time to work on something, too.
Yeah.
I used to be able to take a week and really work on how do I want to show this and do this. or if something new opened up, I could film it however I wanted. I have a long time to edit it and put it up, and then people would watch it because they're like, oh, the new ride or whatever.
Yeah.
And now there's hundreds of people live streaming it as it opens.
I know.
So you're gonna get less people who might go see your thing from when the day opened, which is kind of a bummer. But I've still fought to stay in my like kind of. I'm a nerd, so I'm like I've always gone into it thinking I'm doing this as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Which I'm a crappy filmmaker, but at least I try to think of it like art style wise, right?
Yeah.
So I approach it a little differently than maybe like some people would, right? Like I don't know, like whoever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not to compare, but I kind of like that there was all these different little flavors, and now there's a lot of flavors. It's a lot. It's like Jelly Bellies. There's a lot of Jelly Bellies now. Does it stress you out at all?
I mean, so far so good.
Or is it like the more the merrier?
Well, I don't know if it's more the merrier, but I mean, certainly I feel like we got everything covered. You know, there's more than enough of us. So.
Oh yeah, it's oversaturated.
It is oversaturated a little bit.
Then you see who survives.
I feel like I've staked my claim. My flag is in the ground, and you know what I mean?
I like that.
Like I said, good luck. You know, I hope you guys. You know, I wish you the best. You know,
I only worry about like the kind of culture at the park, because it used to be like if you're an annual pass holder, I mean talking way back like as a kid, even in the 90s, it was like really community feeling that even you and I didn't know each other for years.
Yeah.
We kind of knew of each other, like, oh hey, how's it going? But there's always that kind of camaraderie, spirit of friendliness at Disneyland, because Disneyland kind of has that thing, like Disney fans have that kind of thing. And I think as people, it's our fault a little bit, but as people realize like you could make a job out of this, you have people coming kind of from outside that culture who are like, oh, I can make a job covering this place. They didn't really care about the kind of ethics, the sort of like Walt, sort of don't pick up trash off the ground, be a good citizen of Disneyland. Don't get drunk, don't get in fist fights.
There's
not
a percentage
a lot of swearing.
Of them out there who are not. I think some of it is like, it's almost like the TikTok
generation,
where it's just about clicks.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a mentality of, it's purely commercial and not so much
I don't know.
passion.
I mean, TikTok,
but maybe it is. Maybe it becomes a passion. I don't want to criticize. I don't want to sound like the old man, like, you know, because TikTok people can be 80 years old. I don't mean it like that, but.
No, but TikTok there's a certain aesthetic to a TikTok video that requires you to be and put on a certain kind of video. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what does penetrate the algorithm on TikTok? Yeah. It's not.
I don't even know. I don't even have TikTok. You know, I refuse. I just like won't put that in my brain. It's too much. Vine was too much for me back in the day, and TikTok is too much. But I don't know. I worry about just like the people. There's like a Disney lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. I worry about that sometimes too. Like I get this weird thing where I feel like responsible, and I'm like, are we furthering the toxic Disney adult? And, you know, like don't
take care of your own backyard. That's all I can do. Take care of your own backyard. That's it.
Because you can see people who go broke, spending too much money. They have to have every lounge fly. There's a FOMO, and I always tell people, you don't have. Look at me. I don't look like, you know, I'm poor. I don't need to buy everything. You don't have to do that to be part of that world, and you don't have to feel like you're missing out if you're not there at every opening and everything and all that. And so I want to hug those people, like not in a mean way, never looking down way, like you don't have to be, because I've seen it kind of ruin some lives. Other people are perfectly happy and they can take care of it, they can afford it. Bless you, do your thing. But I worry about people coming outside and even changing that culture, and I don't know how to articulate this, like just coming in and just treating it like a trashy place like any other place. I'm here to get clicks and views, and just changing the kind of culture of like, I don't know, because I feel like I even though from a distance, like I feel like a kinship with you, because I feel like you really respect that place.
I do.
I feel like you have the same thing as me. Like when I walk through there, I feel like I am lucky to be in here. Mm-hmm. I feel the same thing I felt like when I was a kid. Like I'm so lucky to be at Disney.
Well, I never complain about the prices.
I never complain about anything. Like I never go to City Hall and complain. I don't complain about the prices. I'm so lucky to get to go.
Yeah. Now look at all the show you get that is available to you for what really is a very nominal
When people stop paying the price, then they'll know they have to lower it.
Right.
And it'll change. Like that one's too big for me. People people will complain to me like, how come you're not complaining about these prices? We've got to fight them to lower these prices. I go, I don't know what to do. It's a big corporation, and I'm sure they'll lower the price when the demand is lowered. I don't know enough about economics.
What is that?
Yeah.
They have not been able to outpace demand.
But I feel like you have this thing that I've got, which is like you feel like you're lucky to be there and to get to be a weird small part of it and take people there with you and stuff. And like, I'm worried that is dying.
Well, I can only take care of myself. Take care of your own backyard.
Yeah.
Others may not feel that way. I don't, like I said, good luck. I mean, I hope you guys.
But that used to stress me out. But then there's other people like Mondo. You know Mondo? Sure. I guess he was telling people like, oh yeah, I didn't really used to be into all this stuff, but as he's done it, he's like sort of like, I discovered the magic kind of thing.
No, you could tell Mondo's a beast.
There's other people who have come in thinking I'm going to get views and clicks here, and then end up falling in love with it, falling in love with the culture of the parks and all that stuff. And I've met some like really cool people who like came in kind of as the newcomers later.
Yeah.
And they kind of, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, they kind of give you the side eye. They don't really talk to you for a while.
I don't know who the newcomers are.
But then after a while, they come up and they're like, hey dude, I always loved your channel. It made me love Disneyland. They give you the fist bump or something and you're like, oh, okay, because I'm always coming at it from like, I'm an outsider nerd, nobody likes me thing. Your name, I know you had another channel called the Royal Dorks.
The Royal Dorks, yeah.
But you had a username somewhere, it was the Duke of Dork.
Well, the channel originally was the Duke of Dorks that turned into the Duke and Duchess of Dork, and then that turned into the Royal Dorks as we.
Aye. But so is that how you self-identify then? Is like that's like if my background was like, oh yeah, I'm like punk rock guy from the punk rock world. Is that like your thing?
I'm a dork.
You say like I'm a dork. What were you into other than like Disney stuff and golf?
Like I mean, when I was
just a kid in life.
I was into, I guess the usual. I don't know. I liked sports. When I was a kid. Although
But where's the dork thing come in? Where you're like, oh, Star Trek. What was I don't know like.
I don't know. I just.
So I've seen you do some random stuff like Pokemon and weird stuff.
Yeah, I play a little Pokemon, sure.
See, you're so random with you. You're like a mystery. I like unpacking the mystery.
Pokemon Go, sure.
Yeah, what else are you into now besides Disney?
That's it, really. I mean, honestly, I don't even have time to like watch television anymore.
I know. It's a full time.
I can't even like watch it while I'm doing something else because I have the headphones and all this. And
that's why people are like, for me, they're like, well, you used to just go to Disneyland like all the time, film there all the time. Randomland was a show that was always at Disneyland. Yeah. And they're like, now you don't even do update videos on this, and I go, because you don't understand how all consuming that gets. Yeah. And I watched all you guys consume with every update. And I was like, if I do that, I'm so obsessive like that I would be right there with you. And it's like, there's so many other places I want to go and so much else I want to see. I remember making a conscious decision, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but my buddy Tyler, Original Flavor Tyler, and I were at Disneyland one day, and we were filming some kind of update, some kind of thing. And I remember looking at the new cups for the 60th, and I remember thinking like, or when they changed them back from the 60th cups to the regular
generic
cups. But I remember thinking, if I film this cup, that they changed the cups back, that's going to be my life. I'm going to film everything they update here until the end of time. And I literally said, I'm going to let Fresh Bake do that.
I didn't do a cup video.
But I was like, I'm going to let Fresh Bake be that. Because I was like, I don't think I could keep up. I think I would lose my mind. Yeah. I don't know how you keep up with everything. You guys are the ones that always, you or Adam or MigV will always tell me like, heads up, the 100th starts on this date and this date. You guys always have it like dialed in. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to.
You have to shed everything else. You just.
Oh, I feel like I'm too cluttered in here. Like I got too much junk in here. I can't ever stay on top of it. So.
Luckily, I've been able to, no matter what I'm doing, like whatever my hobby is, which is, somebody asked me like,
Yeah,
like
what's your hobby?
Well, I say monetize your hobby. Find a way to monetize your hobby. So that's been my life,
Turn your passion into a job. You never work another day in your life, except you will. You will work and you will work hard.
You will, but it won't feel like it. But the bottom line is that doing this is it just feels. We're so lucky.
I know. It's awesome.
We're so lucky.
It's so cool to get to take people with you to some place you love and share that thing with them, and then for them to be like, I love this.
I know, right?
Awesome.
What are you talking about?
It's like having friends. When I was a kid, I did not have friends. Everything I like, people were like, loser. And now people are like, oh, cool. There's still some people who probably think we're losers, which is fair. What do you want people to know about Fresh Baked that they don't know? What is it called? Is it called just Fresh Baked?
Just Fresh
now?
Baked with a slammer.
Just Fresh Baked.
Yeah.
So we need to get you that name on Instagram without the underscore. Eventually.
Yeah.
It's underscore Fresh Baked on
We
Instagram.
screwed that up.
What's the channel address?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You don't know what it is? It's like youtube.com.
The literal URL?
Yeah.
I think it's Fresh Baked Disney.
Okay.
I think.
So if we want people to find you, just Google Fresh Baked Disney.
I mean, if you put Fresh Baked Disney, you'll find
Google
us.
Fresh Baked Disney, you'll pop up.
Yeah.
And
Instagram, Twitter, and
any parting thoughts? What do you wish people knew about you, about Fresh Baked, about
nothing.
Disneyland? Anything?
No, I'm no. What do we wish I knew?
Yeah.
What they knew about me?
Wish they knew about you.
Nothing. I'm just a guy with a camera and a computer.
I always
that can
think
edit videos.
I wish people knew that I was shy.
Well, I
talk a lot, but
yeah.
I'm shy. Like I'm not trying to be rude or I may be loud, but I'm shy and awkward. And I always wish people knew that I was pretty deaf. Like
I'm deaf in this ear.
I'm pretty. Are you?
Yeah.
Like 100%?
Like 90.
Yeah, it's really bad in this ear, and it's pretty bad in this ear, and it's getting worse. Where in this environment, I'm cool, but in Disneyland, it's loud.
Yeah.
I can't hear people.
Yeah.
And they're telling me this long story, and the parade is
I
going.
have to do a lot of this.
I'm doing this, and I still can't hear.
Yeah.
I maybe hear a third of what they're saying, and then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, they're telling me some story, and I don't know what they're saying, and I'm not going to remember next time, and I start to get stressed and sweaty, and I'm doing this.
Yeah, on those terms, I would say understand that I'm a weirdo, and
you're weird.
That I don't know how to act around people sometimes, especially new people.
Once I learned that about you, then I loved you after that. I was like,
but
it's cool.
I
remember one time making some joke in front of you, and then Liz from across, gave me this weird look, and
oh God, you used to scare the crap out of me, Justin.
Because I felt like, what do I do? And then Liz from across the room was like, he's joking, honey, and then you were like, oh, okay. And then I realized he's just a weirdo. He's just differently weird than me. So it's good. It's like we're all friends.
I remember sometimes you would like do a thing, like you'd see me and you start doing it. You're doing your thing, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, it's great though.
I don't know what to do.
I really appreciated that phone call recently. I really appreciate your guys' friendship and that you guys have been friendly and family friendly. And I really love that you and I kind of started this weird thing, this weird genre together, but not in cahoots at all. And that both of us seem to have weirdly a lot in common, as different as we are. Yeah. Like a lot in here is in common, and I just really want to thank you because that phone call meant a lot to me, and you being a kind, good friend means a lot. And
you actually, any of the, Adam and the others, welcome me, like that means a lot.
No,
being like open.
We like you.
Well, but like. I think that everybody hates me.
Me too. I think that too.
That's why I can't believe that people watch my stupid show.
I feel like a lone wolf. Me too, but I feel like a lone wolf. That's why I want to start doing these conversations, and I didn't want it to be an interview show. I want it to just be like this because we don't get a chance to do that when you're making your videos. It's not a lot of room to wedge people in. And I was like, but it'd be cool. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. That's
it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Awesome. We had a conversation.
We had a conversation. Don't ever forget. That's awesome. David, dude.
Yeah, man.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
How long was that?
Like 2 hours.
Nice.